Okay, people. How you doing? It's Judge Lynn. I hope you can hear me. And I want you to see this. Wait a minute. I don't know how to be a girl. I have on a girly dress and a high heel shoe. I'm working on it, people. I'm getting better. Now, for the rest of you, that's my foot because I can't find the other shoe. That's why I can't walk nowhere in it or nothing like that. I'm taking measured steps into girlyhood. I don't know if I'm having fun or not. Did a little better with my hair too today, I think. Whoever told me to stop using so much conditioner, I do not remember who you were, but thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh, now see if I would leave it alone, would it be fine? Now I got an alfalfa sprout. But anyway, I'm gonna take this one shoe off. And yes, that's an extension cord back there. If what you saw around me was pristine, I might be it's an AI fake. Because I don't do pristine. I do not tacky. Or at least I try to do not tacky. But sometimes I end up there too. I don't know what it is with me and the fingers in my hair. My sister can't stand it. She gets on her nerves. If you don't get your fingers out of your hair, I gotta call her today, and we've been beefing. And I don't want to, but I am. I'm going to apologize for being less than, I don't know. She caught me on the wrong days and said the wrong thing. That's all. But it was still my fault. So I gotta call her and apologize today. And I'm messing with my hair. Oh my goodness. Lynn, you are not well at all. I'm gonna let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. I'd give you a weather report, but I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry I keep bending over, but I'm trying to reach something. I have a whole lot of somethings. Oh, it's all the way over there. Anyway, so as I've told you, I've bought. I'm gonna light up my dollhouses, right? So I get the instructions, and I just think people are so funny. I'm gonna read you the top part of the instructions. The first thing it says is, it's easy. We appreciate your purchase of this kit and we know you'll be satisfied. Remember, if you get stuck, we're only a phone call away. This is a full-on pep talk before you get into the instructions. Electrifying anything can seem overwhelming and complicated. All it really means is getting electricity from one place to another. Take a couple of minutes, relax, and read this introduction and the instruction. Take a couple of minutes and relax. A couple of minutes. Relax. Read the introduction. Relax in a couple of minutes. And wait a minute. Then the instructions. Now, first of all, it's important to tell people to relax. It's important to tell me to relax because I don't know how to relax. I do not look like how my bra fits in this thing. I got a whole lot of extra commentary, don't I? That's the problem. You know what was better about TV is I couldn't see myself. I could only critique it later. Like when I got into going to Atlanta and that other the beginning of how it unraveled for me anyway. And I mean a lot went on, but I never liked the way I looked. I never they could never get my LA look together. And hopefully, maybe I'll put what I looked like in LA, my hair and makeup, because Rick and Val and I had Enoch, rest in peace, and oh, Sylvia. Because they get done with my face and I go, ooh, there she is. And Chris G's. I mean, there are some people that can do your face and hair. And but anyway, why was I talking about Atlanta and things? Oh, it was easier to be on TV because can't see myself and I can't pick myself apart. And then that's when my husband told me he knew it was the beginning of the end, because whenever he watched Divorce Court, and he used to, but with the volume off, so he wanted to look at me, but he hears quite enough from me. So he said, because whenever you walked in the room and I'm watching Divorce Court, you and walked out, just you couldn't bear to watch it. So, and then things went left in other ways as well. So, but that's what happened. I don't know how I got onto this. I came here to answer questions, and good Lord, actually, I got wound up in my outfit because I said, you should be able to find a dress and a shoe and a room and some light. And it took me longer than it should have to do all of the above. But anyway, I am going to electrify the house now. Now it's just a challenge. Now it's just a challenge. I have to do it. I'm going to answer some really quick questions that people ask me. What's my favorite color? Yellow. Somebody asked me, is real Judge Lynn II, is it me? I think I might have answered that yesterday, but on Instagram, real Judge II, that is me. I had another quick question. Oh, somebody suggested that I should volunteer. And I don't know if you've been with me or not on the journey, but I started volunteering a long time ago. I mean, I've already volunteered. I volunteer consistently with a group called 365, Bloom 365. If you ever have, check it, look it up. Bloom 365, we're going to schools and we teach children what a healthy relationship is. And we don't just teach, little Susie what to do if little Johnny looks like he's going to do wrong. We try to teach little Johnny not to do wrong. We teach them both what a healthy relationship is, And we've had girls stand up in there. We'd have these elephant in the room cards. And the kids would fill them out. You say anything you want to us. Sometimes they just cussed us out. And sometimes they would say things like, now I know that when my boyfriend comes over the house and tells me which clothes I can wear with him and which clothes I can wear when he's not around was wrong. I mean, and in every class, we've identified one or two people who were just in the middle of some nonsense. And it's just, but anyway, if you learn young how to be one or two, it's easy to do the two thing a little bit better. Someone else asked me, why? I think I answered that too. Why does it seem so adversarial between men and women? It's always been somewhat adversarial between us. I taught a college course on women in the law, and it took us from like 18, I forget where the book is, 18 something, and just examine all the laws to where we were at that point in time, which was maybe 2002, 2008, and about how we slowly went from being chattel to people, and a lot of history has taken place in a manner that, I mean, I'm reading this book on the history of SA, and the laws were written to protect those in power, and those SA laws back in the day. I'm talking about centuries ago, and you can go through them in different codes all the way up, and how women went from, chattel to personhood. God, why am I that? Oh, is that we were always been at odds, and we always have been at odds. What has exacerbated the problem at this point in time is that you make money off of it. One surefire way to get views is to get into a beef with somebody or to say something outrageous about women. Just outrageous. I hold these outrageous opinions, and I say, and that gets you clicks and views and beefing and all that kind of stuff. So when money gets involved in anything, and money's been involved in marriage throughout, but the beefing between the between the genders, not that the beefing itself is economically viable. It is its own source of income. And the problem is people who are not making money off of those things are clicking and viewing and getting opinions and ideas off of those things, and then they're living in a world of extremes, you know? And you got your tribe, you got their tribe, and then everybody's trying to front and position. I need a man who makes $300,000 a year. I didn't have a price tag on my dude. I needed a man who was willing to work with me the way I needed to be worked with. That's what I needed. And together, we made more than either one of us when we were alone. So don't look at the resume. He said, I don't marry potential. You better. Because the cats who have got it all have already got it all. Just get a cat you can get something with, if you know what I mean. Next question I want to answer. I know this has been disconcerting, but it's just like my current weather pattern. It's like, you ever go in there, if you live in Arizona in the summertime, we have these haboobs where you could just see a wall of dust coming at you. I mean, and it's distinct. It's a line, and it can come at you, and it engulfs you, and then it goes away. And it takes about, depending on how big this particular haboob is, it can take you an hour. And if you're on the road when a haboob comes, that's a scary thing. But anyway, or it'll rain really hard on my house, and then across the street it ain't raining at all. I feel like Phoenix weather today. I walk a little bit over here, I get soaking wet. I walk a little bit over there, I can't see because of the haboob. I walk over here, it's just sunshiny. So just work with me. I think finding this dress exhausting me. I gotta figure out who I want to be next. Because I don't know. I can't be who I was before I met him. Because I've upgraded a whole lot since then. I'm matured. I have absorbed some of his habits. He's taught me things. So I can't go back to her. But then I want to go back to when I was Mrs. But that's a sad and soggy place. So I gotta find out what I want to be, and I'm such an introvert. I don't like going anywhere, and I spent so much of my time doing what people were telling me to do in order to agree with. You ought to join this. You ought to join that. You ought to volunteer. I went and started volunteering. Months after he died, and it was hard to find something that I was into, but I found it. It was this refugee class, and the guy was kind of mean, but I kept going and kept going and kept going, and months and months and months, and I still go. And I don't enjoy it very much. I like the people because we're helping refugees, but the process is difficult. And I joined Volunteer Match, and the skills I match, and the things I do are either too far away because I can't drive that far, or at one place I showed up and it says, oh, well, we know who you are and you would be too disruptive, so that won't work. So I've been doing that, and I've been going to Pilates and jabs. I did jujitsu and all that kind of stuff, and I was doing all the things I was supposed to do. But none of that lifted me up. It just was another job. And always work with Bloom 365. I was talking about that, and it's a great organization. And she and I think, and I think maybe I can get more involved with that now, because I was super involved for a while because I was on the founding board when she was first starting out, and we were hustling, bustling. But I've kind of stepped back, especially these past 2 years. Maybe I should go back to that. And but I do volunteer. I volunteer all the time. It just I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to give me purpose instead opposed to an obligation. And I mean, I remember when I was a judge in Cleveland. I started a group for young girls, maybe 7 to 10 of them. And I would stay with them all year. They were in a breakout school for troubled kids. That was a passion. I mean, I loved it. I'd give them flowers. They got good grades. I wouldn't go pick them up for lunch. If you just, talk to them. Some of them just wanted to be hugged. It was amazing how deprived they were of non-sexual physical touch. And I want to find that again. And part of my problem in finding that again is what I did between then and now, which is become somewhat of a public figure. I figure about 2, 3 more years, I'll be off TV for a while. Yeah, it'll be all right. But that's what it is. But I got one more question I want to answer. I know I'm all over the place, and I apologize. I do. You know. I wrote this down so poorly. I'm not sure I understand what I wrote down. I wrote down too organic, not superficial enough, caused complexity within herself. And then authentic. But I remember the email, and I tried to find it before I came here, but I couldn't. The email was written in a way that I didn't really understand it, but I think I saw past what she was saying into what she meant, the words she was using, and what she meant. It came across as she was saying she's too organic and not superficial enough, and it causes complexity and perplexity when she's within herself when she's dealing with other people. Now I don't know if I'm on it, close to it, near it, two counties away from the question she's really asking, but this is the only answer I got, and it's this. Basically, what you're saying is, when I'm my authentic self, I disturb others, and I don't want to be superficial. I want to be my authentic self and not disturb others or not be conflicted about the manner in which people perceive you. That's what I got out of it. Might not be the case, but that's what I got out of it. And that is this. And I think it's something we all got to think about lately, because now, first of all, you have to understand the angle of my algorithm. The angle of my algorithm, I lean dark. I watch dark things. And in so doing, my computer sells me all that dark. And some of the dark they sell me is just the ratty tatty crazy behavior that we engage in when we decide, because I feel this way, because I am this way, everybody has to accommodate me. And, people going into places, well, if I didn't get what I want, just cooping and hollering and screaming, and no, you can't this and that. And it's very much, or even in courtrooms, I see, people arguing with the judge about what the law is because they done did a Google search. And that 4 years of college, 3 years of law school, and magistrate school, and years of practice don't mean nothing because I did a Google search. And, we're all I think I've gotten off track, but I'm still in the ballpark. Just hang on with me. I am my organic self, and I try to be authentic all of the time. But I also understand the room that I am, and I respect other human beings' need to be cool, calm, and collected, and have their own thing. So if we look at it like I'm gonna keep it real, I'm gonna keep it organic, and keeping it a little, to curb your the manner in which you communicate from angry to simply assertive, from 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 hysterical to just a little upset. That's not being inorganic. That's being mature. That's saying I feel this way, I want these things, but I can get it like a grown person and not like a 2-year-old. Now, my organic self is outer than all get out. And I understand that. And I understand how I come across to people sometimes. And for the most part, I don't care. But part of what you can, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I'll have a room be arraigning 70 people, and I will speak different lingos, 4 or 5 different kind of lingos and conversation in this, because I need to speak in the language that they hear or the vernacular with which they're familiar or most comfortable, because then they're most likely to hear me. So this is me and take it or leave it is a popular notion. I saw it a lot in the book. He knew who I was. He knew that when I married him. But I remember I had this couple on one year, and they both kept saying he knew who I was. He knew why he knew what I liked. She knew what I liked to do. She knew when I married him. And then I looked at him. I said, "Well, why did you get married if you intended to stay single?" You get married so you can change. You can make a different kind of life. And if you get married, don't fight for your right to boogie. Fight for your right to be together. Fight for the ability to stay together. Not to fight for the right to not change anything about myself, even though I'm asking you to change everything about you. Don't make no sense. So your authenticity need not be disturbed by your efforts to be palatable. Even when I'm weird, I'm usually palatable because I pay attention to other people and timing, tone, and topic. When I'm trying to convince somebody, I don't cook. Well, sometimes I do, but I try not to. I don't cook, or at least not right away. What I first try to do is start where they are. So let me see what I got, what you're trying to tell me. So you're saying I said, now, let me challenge this. Okay, so we're here. So now let me challenge that. So we're here. You start where other people are, you slowly walk them home. Doesn't mean that I believe any less of my position over here, as a matter of fact. But if I start where they are and slowly walking home, as opposed to a cook, cook, I'm more likely to convince them. When you cook, cook, you might get compliance, but you don't get understanding and acceptance. But if you start where they are and slowly walk them home, what do you need? What do you want? Why did that? They're more likely to get where they're going with you. I hope you can hear me. I had a couple people say I'm having volume problems. I don't hear the volume problems when I play it back, but maybe they're there. I hope they're not, but if they are, have a happy Sunday. Really do. And of course, I should never say that because these things are on, Oh, and look at that. For heaven's sakes. I think I'm not having fun unless I look stupid. It's just like, but I had on a dress and a shoe, and I want